This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I'm excited to introduce you to my guest today. We've got Rita Witte here, and she is with Always Flavored. Rita, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good. I am so excited to learn more about you and more about Always Flavored. So let's start there. Share with us a little bit about Always Flavored.
We are, I like to say, a COVID baby. So when everybody was at home and we became butchers and bakers, we had a home garden. And from that, we just had too many hot peppers. And again, your friends don't like you that much. They're not going to eat all your jalapenos. I taught myself how to make hot sauce and kind of just been going from there. We kind of, just made it at home for a while. And then I kind of gave it to friends and friends liked it. So then kind of started learning more of the process of making sauces and really making the seasonings. And we started selling at farmers markets and festivals. Straight out of COVID, we were at the Frosty Brew Through in January of 2021. And we sold out in a matter of like 2 hours of everything we brought. And then we continued on, got certified. We got on the store shelves at the food co-op and just been growing. We opened our first small brick and mortar on Princess Anne in November of 22, and then since then we've actually moved locations twice. We moved from there to 610 Caroline, and then last year, right now, basically, we moved to where we are now. So we've been in this location just about a year now. And just, in that process, we also grew into over 350 retail locations. So our goal.
That's amazing growth. Congratulations. I mean, I mean, going from, COVID baby, growing peppers in my garden to being in many store shelves, having a brick and mortar. I mean, you just kind of look back and you're like, wow, what a whirlwind the last few years have been.
Yeah, it happens so quick that some days I'm just like, I have to stop myself and I'm like, okay, well, where are we? Because, what's the next step? Where are we going? And, so many people love to give advice and tell you where you should go. And then I'm like, well, what am I? Am I a this? Am I a that? And, I can spawn into 15 different things, but it ends up
Mhm.
being what's the real goal? What's the real direction?
Yeah, I mean, because you've got the manufacturing side of things on store shelves, and then you also have the local location, and you are a local favorite. I have been following you, and um, the locals here in Fredericksburg love you, and they love your sandwiches, and I love the interaction that I see constantly with your fans, and so yeah, so that seems like that might be kind of difficult to balance.
It is, but they've put us here, where we are.
Mm,
We wouldn't be here without the support of the people that have taken us from buying from day one,
mhm,
and it's kind of like the demand of what's next or the demand of we want hotter, we want this. And, we try to listen to those people. I say that we are a community-based business. We wouldn't be here if it
mhm.
weren't for the people that buy from us, but we wouldn't be here if we weren't on a mission in different ways. I love I love our town, and as we grow, I want, that to continue to resonate within wherever we go from here.
Yeah.
It's not my plan, it's the plan of how does that grow?
Hmm. Hmm. I want to learn more about you. Tell me about your background. I mean, how did you go from, prior to COVID to growing peppers in your garden? Walk me through a little bit of that process.
I've been in the food service my whole life. I became a restaurant general manager at 18, with the goals and hopes of owning my own place one day. Um,
Mhm.
and some days it's changed what that place looked like. Some points it was a full serve 100 people fast paced restaurant, and then you know then it eventually morphed into, I guess, what it is now. I love food. I love food. I love bringing people together via food. I love that we all have a story of memories that are tied into it. And I love that we can all walk into a restaurant and have no knowledge, and there's somebody there that's going to take you under their wing and teach you everything. I
Mhm.
became a GM, and then I started managing restaurants, and I didn't know how to speak to my employees because, I'm a 19-year-old that doesn't speak any Spanish, and they're like, "Yeah, okay." And I had ladies that were just like, "Okay, well, you're gonna learn. We're gonna make you learn Spanish." I can't say I speak Spanish. I know Taco Bell Spanish. But, um, you know, people like, when we moved to Virginia, I was running the entire food service department at IKEA, and from New
Wow.
Jersey when we moved here, and, it was such a beautiful melting pot of so many different types of people working with in an environment that you got to be who you are. That it was the experience of seeing people from all over the world, all over the country, and in their presence of how they can work and get along together, and it was just such a fun experience. One of the programs I had developed was that, each month one of the chefs got to make the menu for the staff. So, like, we had a staff cafeteria, so it's one of the elements of IKEA, and
Mhm.
so one of the chefs actually personally planned the menu. And one time, one of them was, so each one got to pick which month they wanted. And, one of my cooks, she wanted to do Black History Month. She's a 50-year-old, African American woman who, she's like, that's my month. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, but Miss Carlina, I don't know how to cook barbecue. And you're going to learn today. And, our barbecue sauce that's won awards is based on that recipe that her and I created in that kitchen,
Mm.
where she taught me her skills. She taught
Mhm.
me what it was to make food the way she's made it her whole life. And, I love that we have that ability to take somebody who knows nothing and teach them that. What's so beautiful about, the food service industry, is that you don't need skills. You just need to show up and be on time.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. What do you find that there are any myths or misconceptions about Always Flavored?
That, one of the biggest is that everything's spicy and hot. No,
Hmm.
that's why we're called Always Flavored. It's not just hot sauce. It's all about bringing that flavor out in whatever circumstance it is.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that we sell sandwiches at our store. Like, that's the biggest thing, is they just think we sell sauce. At
Hmm.
our store, every single one of so we use our products on everything. So everything you can taste, we'll use our products. So we have sandwiches, paninis, we serve breakfast, getting ready to release mac and cheese, and all of that will use our products, so you can taste them in different ways. It's hard to go buy a
Hmm.
$10 bottle of hot sauce and you not even know that you like it, or barbecue sauce and you don't know if you like it. So I want you to be able to have that experience.
Hmm. Yeah. If someone listening has never been to your restaurant and they were going to order something, what would you recommend someone order?
One of my favorites is always going to be our Reuben, and that doesn't have to be spicy. It can be, we use our everyday hot sauce and make the Thousand Island with it. But I also use our balsamic rub, and I put that on the corned beef. So it's just a different sandwich. It's a kind of a classic. Um, you know, they're just all different. I'd probably
Hmm.
say anytime the safest is either any of it, or even the flavors of the month, because it's probably what I'm stuck on right now. Like that, I taste them in myself for a few weeks, and I'm like, that's what I'm stuck on. So then that's
Hmm.
eventually what becomes like, okay, well, I like this. So, we're getting ready to release 3 new items on Friday. So,
That's exciting. Awesome. What is something that you wish the listeners knew about Always Flavored?
um, I think it's just that we're genuine, and we just are here to, better our community, that we do give back a lot more than we talk about,
Hmm.
constantly working with nonprofits, either, anybody who comes in and asks for things. I try to make sure that, if any raffle, most people always, I'm like, sure, here's a basket, and I'm very humble about that, because I think it's just what business owners should do. A lot of
Hmm.
our friends, a lot of my friends are like, well, you should talk about it. You should post about it. And I'm like, I don't know. And I guess that's one of those things is we genuinely are that community like of givers, because I think
Hmm.
you got to give to get. And I think
Yeah.
that our customers know it. And it's I think it's just that important. And I think if more of us do that and lead with an open hand, I think we will grow as a community because there's a lot of things we can't change right now. And I think
Hmm.
as a business owner, that mindset for me is the most important.
Absolutely. And I can tell that your customers feel that. And it's demonstrated in the loyalty that you have in you don't have just customers, you've got loyal fans of Always
Yeah, and that's
Flavored.
what we kind of call them. We call them our flavor fans because
Hmm.
they come, they don't feel, and I'm happy that they don't feel bad about telling me that something's wrong or something's right, because
Hmm.
they know that it's that personal, that I do want to fix it if we're not doing what we're supposed to, or we're not, if I go in and they see, like, our customers will Facebook message me and say, hey, this is what's happening, or you weren't there, or
Hmm.
you were there. And I am I find that as a blessing. A lot of business owners get upset when people give them feedback, where
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, how do we grow? What is that? Feedback is feedback. So
Yeah. 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 It's how you grow. It's how you get better. So I love that you take that feedback and you take it seriously and then you take action and that's what your customers want, you know?
yeah.
I love that. So if the listeners want to come visit you, if they want to buy your products, tell us how can we find you?
Well, if we can always order online, alwaysflavor.com, or on all the social medias. You can order DoorDash or Grubhub right now and get it delivered. And we're at 619 Caroline Street, downtown Fredericksburg. We're always doing different things. I'm going to be starting to do a few more events and stuff. So, you know, we have different activities going on all the time.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. Well, Rita, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Always Flavored with us.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.